Hello, this is God of Tomatoes, and today I decided to remove the cutscenes as they're kind of tacky, though I have plans to add my own later by utilizing the archives on Genshin. Also, you may notice that today's video is 30 minutes long, which is because I didn't want to speed up the fights too much, as then it would be unwatchable. And speaking of that, I noticed as I was watching through yesterday's video that I sped up the material collecting too much, so I'll see if that happens again. Today I'm going to be hunting down my daily commissions, materials, and some weekly things. However, today is also a day of terrible aim with a bow, so you'll notice a common trend where I miss targets that are a decent bit away, or where I accidentally run into an object and lose my aim. By the way, I have no clue what I'm doing through most of my playing of Genshin, as well as pretty much any other game. So, as always, unless you see the word tutorial in the video title, I have no clue what I'm doing, and I'm not going to be able to provide any actual help if you don't know how to play the game. By the way, for anyone who is curious about that extra physical damage you see whenever I hit something in the head, that's because I'm using the messenger bow. The messenger bow is a 3-star bow, and it's a lot better than other bows for Amber because Amber's real strength comes from critting. And so whenever you hit an enemy in their weak spot, which doesn't auto-crit, then it's going to deal extra crit damage as physical damage. I have a calculator built to have inputs for the damage, so if anyone wants to see damage for different items, just contact me and I'll send you a link. By the way, here's a fun fact of the day. Crit damage can actually stack, meaning that if you have a 200% crit chance, which I'll get to how that works in just a minute, then that means that you can square the amount of crit damage. So if your crit multiplier is ×2, it'll be ×4. As for how to achieve a 200% crit chance, it's actually a bit complex because, as many people have noticed, if you get above 80% crit chance on your character, then most of it just doesn't do anything anymore. So the way that you're going to get 200% crit chance in order to stack your crits is by either using a bow character and aiming for weak spots, or by using the one rocker girl that I can't remember the name of. Right now, my Amber only has about a 35% crit chance, so you're unlikely to see it happen. But if I were to get my Amber's crit chance up to about 80%, it would happen quite frequently. Right now, though, I just don't have the energy to farm for artifacts. Here's another fun fact about bow users, and you'll actually see this happen to me quite a bit today. If you're too far away from an enemy, then it slowly decreases the damage that you do, and by slowly, I mean insanely fast. If you stand just barely outside the range, it cuts it in half, and for every step beyond that, it cuts it by an additional 90%, meaning that if you step out just a few steps beyond the halfway point, then you'll do no damage when you use your bow, even if you hit the enemy.
さんにサボっているところを見つかったらとやされちゃうよ。しあよしよ頼んだわよ。
By the way, something interesting to note is that human enemies disappear when they die by either teleporting or running away, but non-human enemies such as hill churls or abyss mages die upon being defeated. Now obviously human enemies not dying is because this is a game made to allow younger people such as teens to play as well. But it is interesting to note that the hill churls, who are intelligent enough to speak and have their own culture, are deemed as appropriate to just murder. Speaking of hill churls, I actually have quite a few theories as to what exactly hill churls are, as well as all the off-breeds like lava churls, abyss mages, and everything else in Genshin Impact, including some hot topics like the Four Winds. And of course, if I were to make those videos, they'd be styled the same way that my old tutorial videos were styled. So let me know if you want to see any of those. I also might post some tutorial videos on beating certain bosses in Genshin. I'm no expert, but I can show you different strategies that work very well. And now that I've collected most of my daily things, such as the commissions and the events, I'm going to be going into collecting all my materials for the day soon. And for the material collection, I sped it up quite a bit, but I didn't cut out the cutscenes, so you will have to deal with that. And the material collection, it's going to start off with me just grabbing some stuff from the other store that I missed last time. And then I'll be going across the map getting meat and fish. And by the way, this time I actually remembered to go to Dragon Spire, even though I ended up getting lost several times and forgetting how many boars were there. Alright, and as I piss off the king and run away, it is now time to do my weekly bounties and my weekly quests. And for the bounties, I made it a bit faster than normal, as they do take around 6 minutes each. And we're gonna start off by fighting a Ruin Hunter that's immune to physical damage. And so, I'll first be searching around with Tartaglia, but when I actually get to the fight, I'm going to be mainly using Amber. Normally, I would use Razor against a Ruin Hunter, just because they're annoying to fight with a bow. But Razor's elemental damage can only be activated about every 6 seconds, I think it is, so it would take forever if I fought the Ruin Hunter with Razor only. Also, more fun fact time. When the Ruin Hunters aren't high up in the air, when they're just levitating like that, the eye, the golden part on their head, is actually not their weak spot. They don't have a weak spot unless they're flying high up in the air, meaning that you can't start a crit on them normally.
血合いをしよう。許可に依頼を出そう。
Our second bounty, as you just saw, is a Ruin Guard that's immune to Anemo and Hydro. And so I'll be mainly using Razor. And that may seem strange, as I said in the past video, that Amber or a different bow user is better for fighting Ruin Guards. But the reason why I'm going to be knocking it down and then using Razor for the fight is because it takes increased electro damage. And although Razor can't constantly deal electro damage, it is a slight buff which will make it easier. Especially when considering that the bounty Ruin Hunters and the bounty Ruin Guards have much more health than they would normally have. Meaning that it would take forever if I used a bow character without a bonus. And now I'm going to heal up because our final bounty is another Ruin Hunter, and those are always a pain to deal with. But to make matters worse, it's immune to electro damage, which means that if I use Razor, it'll have to be physical damage only. Although you will notice by the end of this fight, Amber does end up dying, mostly in my opinion due to me ending up running into a few rocks, which causes me to have no choice but to use Razor to finish off the Ruin Hunter.
隙を見せるのはこの一瞬だ。
By the way, this cryo abyss mage ends up getting in my way a bunch while I'm trying to do things, and I really wish that I had just killed it off earlier, but I figured there was no point as I could easily outmaneuver it for the most part. But it did end up being a big enough pain that I decided to kill it midway through the fight. And to end things off today, since it would be boring if I just showed you guys the same scenery every single day, ignore the fact that I do the same daily commissions, I'm going to be showing you guys the pet Avengers rather than the desert. To achieve this effect, set your time to midday, pull out your 3 pet users, and go underneath the stairs in monster. When going under the stairs though, do be careful not to go too far, otherwise you'll pop right back out. Well, that's all for today folks. Ciao.